Dramatic escape from the moving car was all captured on a video camera here at the gas station.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be looking at 10 thwarted kidnapping attempts caught on camera.
Police say the man in this surveillance video carjacked this woman early Wednesday morning, claiming to have a weapon.
For this list, we'll be considering the most spine-chilling recordings of botched abduction plots. Which of these shocking incidents left you the most terrified? Let us know in the comments. Craig Bonello. For a preteen Florida girl and her mother, this was probably the most terrifying 15 seconds of their entire lives.
A brazen kidnapping attack thwarted by a fierce mother, all caught on tape. The whole scene playing out in a Dollar General store Tuesday morning.
While shopping at a Dollar General store on June 7, 2016, a man identified as Craig Bonello grabbed the girl by her arm and violently dragged her away. Without missing a beat, the girl's mother sprung into action, fighting off Bonello as he tugged her daughter through the supermarket's aisles, all in full view of surveillance cameras.
Her mother doesn't miss a beat. This mom, Ashley Harper, knows exactly what that woman was thinking.
There wouldn't have been, any doubt I would have thrown myself on anybody, and now I guess I have to be prepared to do that.
Bonello eventually let go and tried to make a run for it, but he was blocked by an off-duty sheriff's deputy and arrested.
Eventually, the man letting go, fleeing the store, only to be met in the parking lot by an off-duty officer.
Who was off-duty had pulled into the parking lot just by chance.
He was brought up on charges of kidnapping and child abuse, but was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Nassim Slamang. In September 2020, a video went viral on social media showing the attempted abduction of a child at a restaurant in Johannesburg, South Africa. In the clip, two women are seen sitting together with a young girl at the Bella Napoli Italian kitchen.
We were sitting outside and there were other customers here. There was a lady with her two kids. And I noticed that there was a guy running.
All of a sudden, 24-year-old Nassim Slamang jumps over the railing and lunges toward the child. Slamang's brazen attempt to abduct the young girl in broad daylight was, however, cut short by the restaurant's owner, Dishal Suku.
I don't consider myself a hero. People say you're at the right place at the right moment. And it all comes with preparation. And I think the years of experience in martial arts is what allowed me to react the way that I did.
Suku, a trained martial artist, immediately tackled the culprit to the floor, placing him in a chokehold while one of the women secured the girl. Slamang was swiftly arrested by police and charged with multiple counts of assault and attempted kidnapping.
The court has heard the suspect has an outstanding warrant of arrest and a string of previous convictions.
Timothy Todd Milner. The tremendous efforts of a gas station cashier and customer made the difference between life and death for a woman in Coweta County, Georgia.
Deputies call it courageous, the quick actions of this store clerk and a customer at a convenience store off Interstate 85 in Coweta County last Friday.
Surveillance footage from the convenience store showed the woman and a man, later identified as Timothy Todd Milner, walk up to the counter.
Deputies say she asked the store clerk for a telephone in an attempt to call for help.
The woman was reported to have quietly asked the cashier for a phone, but after being handed one, Milner grabbed it from her and threw it on the counter. He then dragged her out of the building and into his truck parked outside. Noticing the ordeal, a stranger quickly took a picture of Milner's license plate, which aided in police locating him.
Very brave, very courageous, very helpful. They could have gone about their day and this lady would have been somewhere she didn't want to be with someone she didn't want to be with.
Upon his arrest, Milner was charged with kidnapping, false imprisonment, and battery. Nathaniel Rodriguez. Most of us do not know how we would react if we ever came face to face with a dangerous criminal. But Philadelphia convenience store clerk Manveer Comer knew exactly what to do in that situation.
At first glance, you might not realize anything's wrong here, but this is an alleged crime in progress.
While working the overnight shift on November 11, 2015, Comer stopped the apparent abduction of a doctor by a supposedly armed criminal named Nathaniel Rodriguez. Rodriguez allegedly kidnapped the lady and was attempting to withdraw money using her debit card.
He forced her to withdraw money from ATMs around town. Watch as they pull into this gas station and walk into the convenience store. The suspect gives a friendly wave to the clerk before they go to the ATM.
Footage from the store's cameras showed Comer leaving the counter and confronting Rodriguez just as the two are about to exit. The suspect then fled the scene in the victim's car, but was later tracked down and arrested after making use of her phone.
The clerk confronts the suspect, who you see reach into his jacket as if he has a weapon. The suspect then flees in the woman's car. Back inside, the clerk gives the woman a bottle of water. She's shaken but unharmed.
Santiago Salcedo. On October 11, 2021, a woman was walking by a gas station in the Bronx with her 3 grandchildren when a man approached them.
The attempted abduction was captured on surveillance video, which police used to track down the suspects.
Partially covered in a blanket, the man suddenly grabbed one of the toddlers and took to his heels. Initially torn between the captured girl and the other 2 boys left with her, the grandmother eventually chased after the abductor.
Her grandmother panicking and screaming for help while chasing him as the girl's younger brothers stand by, terrified.
Other bystanders joined in, and they soon cornered the man, later identified as Santiago Salcedo, and he lets go of the child. After riding away on a scooter, police later caught up with Salcedo, who was reported to be homeless, and arrested him. He was arraigned on charges of attempted kidnapping and unlawful imprisonment.
There were literally a couple of people who chased the guy and who helped us with the police and everybody, so I would like to take them.
And this Bronx mother says that there is not enough thanks in the world that she can show this group of good Samaritans.
Thomas Woods. Georgianne Baxter was at a Walmart in Bremen, Georgia with her daughter Brittany when her worst nightmare nearly became a reality.
And the video is stunning. A little girl fighting a grown man allegedly trying to kidnap her.
Brittany was playing in the toy section by herself when she was grabbed by 25-year-old Thomas Woods.
And then he just jumped me and went and ran off.
Woods, who had just been released on parole after serving prison time for manslaughter, was captured by surveillance cameras getting into his car and driving away. Police were able to use this footage to track him to his house, where he was arrested in less than an hour.
Police arrested 25-year-old Thomas Woods, who was recently released from state prison out on parole for manslaughter.
Although he denied even being at the store, Woods was charged with attempted kidnapping. James McGonigal. It's always particularly shocking when an attempted child abduction not only occurs in broad daylight, but also right in front of their parents.
It's quick. And say, oh my God, my kids, please.
That was the case of Jacob Diaz, who was walking down a Queens street with his mom, Dolores Diaz Lopez, and 2 siblings. Diaz was slightly ahead of the rest when a man jumped out of a parked car and snatched him just a few feet away from Lopez.
Dolores Diaz says the men said nothing to her and she doesn't know them.
The quick-thinking mom and her other kids immediately ran after the man, 24-year-old James McGonigal, and successfully retrieved Diaz through the front passenger window. McGonigal was able to flee the scene in his car, but he was later arrested by police on charges including attempted kidnapping and reckless endangerment.
One of them, the driver, has been arrested and was taken to the hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. The other, the passenger, is still outstanding, and police believe the 2 may be father and son.
Manuel Towns. It looked like something out of a Hollywood action movie. 25-year-old Brittany Diggs had already been abducted at gunpoint by Manuel Towns, who had repeatedly threatened to kill her.
He was like, well, since you don't have any money, you're going to help me get money.
Towns forced her into the trunk of her car and drove around in hopes of using her debit card to take out cash. This led him to a gas station in Birmingham, where he seemed to have withdrawn money from the convenience store ATM.
Brittany says panic was setting in.
My biggest fear was he was going to drive this car into a river. I'm going to drown here and nobody's going to know I'm in this truck.
As Towns returned to the car and slowly pulled out of the parking lot, Diggs popped the trunk using the interior latch and bolted into the store. The Alabama nursing student made it to safety, and her captor was arrested by police about a week later.
A jury convicts Manuel Towns of several charges, including kidnapping, robbery, and 2 counts of fraudulent use of a credit card.
Derek McPherson. The doorbell camera at the Nash family house in Ohio captured the attempted abduction of one of their daughters in 2022.
So proud of her, because as soon as she screamed, he let go. So obviously, you know, it does work.
Kennedy Nash was taking out the trash when a man, identified as Derek McPherson, approached her and grabbed her by the arm. The young girl let out a piercing scream, prompting McPherson to release her and quickly walk past.
The whole encounter lasting less than 10 seconds. As Kennedy pulled away and screamed, the man quickly letting go.
Kennedy rushed back into the house and relayed the incident to her dad, Ricky, who got in his car and chased down the culprit. He was later taken in by authorities and brought up on charges of abduction and inappropriate grabbing. Ricky's swift chase may have secured McPherson's capture, but it was Kennedy's quick thinking that prevented the tragedy altogether.
McPherson appeared in a Butler County courtroom where he has been indicted on 2 counts of abduction and unlawful restraint.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Jared Paul Stenga. This terrifying footage from a street surveillance camera in Florida showed the exact moment young Allison Banal was nearly abducted.
This shocking video has been played thousands of times across the country.
Banal was waiting at a bus stop on the morning of May 18, 2021, when a white minivan parked just beside her. The driver of the vehicle, Jared Paul Stenga, was captured running toward Banal and grabbing her as she attempted to scurry away.
She fought and she fought and she fought until finally she was able to break free.
Stenga, who was reportedly wielding a knife, was unsuccessful as Banal fought tooth and nail to regain her freedom. According to the young girl, she was inspired by Law & Order SVU to rub the blue slime she had been playing with on Stenga's arms.
She was playing with blue slime when he grabbed her, and she made sure to wipe some of it on him. That trick gave investigators just the evidence they needed.
This helped police to definitely identify him as the culprit upon his eventual arrest.